Welcome to AI ConvoCast, where we bring you the latest in AI and tech innovation. Please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Let's jump right in.
Today, we will be covering Anthropic's launch of Claude Sonnet 5 as its new default agent model, Microsoft Research's release of Memora for long horizon agent memory, a report that Google is capping Meta's access to Gemini due to compute strain, and Cursor's new native iOS app for coding agents. Starting with the biggest release of the day, Anthropic just launched Claude Sonnet 5, calling it their most agentic sonnet model yet. It's now the default model for Claude Free and Pro users, and it's available across Max, Team, Enterprise, Claude Code, and the API. The pitch here is that Sonnet 5 can plan, use tools like browsers and terminals, and run autonomously at a level that previously required Anthropic's larger, more expensive Opus models. In other words, near flagship agent capability at mid-tier pricing. For developers, intro API pricing runs at $2 per million input tokens and $10 per million output tokens through August 31st. Then jumps to 3 and 15. Anthropic says Sonnet 5 lands close to Opus 4.8 on some agentic tasks, with improvements in reasoning, tool use, coding, and knowledge work. They've also turned on cyber safeguards by default, and notably, Anthropic reports that neither Sonnet 4.6 nor Sonnet 5 was able to develop a full working Firefox exploit during their evaluations. The most telling reaction came from Neil Chotai, a Rust engineer who tested it. He said, unprompted, it wrote a reproducing test, implemented the fix. That's the core appeal here. The model isn't just answering questions, it's diagnosing problems, writing the test to prove the bug exists, and then patching it without being walked through each step. For teams using Claude Code or building workflow agents, that kind of autonomous loop is exactly what makes mid-tier pricing on this tier of capability a meaningful shift. Moving over to Microsoft Research, they've published Memora, a new memory framework aimed at one of the biggest unsolved problems in agent design. As Microsoft puts it bluntly, today's AI agents don't remember past interactions. Most agents today are essentially stateless, meaning every time you come back to them, they either reread enormous histories or rely on retrieval systems that miss important context. Memora tries to fix that by separating what gets stored from how it gets retrieved, using lightweight abstractions and queue anchors to pull the right memory at the right time. The numbers Microsoft is reporting are pretty striking. Memora hit 86.3% accuracy on the LoCoMo benchmark and 87.4% on long mem eval, while using up to 98% fewer tokens than just feeding the model the full conversation history. It also stores about half as many entries per conversation as Mem0, while outperforming other leading memory systems like Nemori, Zep, and LangMem. The reason this matters isn't the benchmark scores themselves, it's that memory is becoming the hidden infrastructure layer for any agent expected to manage a project over weeks or months. Without something like this, long-running agents either get expensive fast or start forgetting what you told them last Tuesday. Next up, a story that says a lot about the current state of AI infrastructure. Reuters, citing the Financial Times, reported on June 28th that Google has placed limits on Meta's use of Gemini after Meta asked for more compute capacity than Google could actually provide. Follow-on reporting suggested the cap disrupted or delayed some Meta AI projects and pushed internal teams to use their token allocations more efficiently. There are two surprising layers here. First, Meta, the company behind Llama and one of the largest AI infrastructure spenders on the planet, was apparently buying significant Gemini capacity from a direct competitor. Second, even Google, with its TPU fleet and data center footprint, couldn't keep up with the request. One Reddit user summed up the reaction nicely, asking, wait, so Google is throttling Meta's access to Gemini because they can't keep up with demand? That's the takeaway in plain terms. Frontier AI competition isn't just about who has the smartest model anymore. It's increasingly about who can actually serve inference at scale, who gets priority access, and who controls the quotas. Closing out, Cursor launched a native iOS app in public beta, bringing its coding agents to the phone. The app lets developers kick off always-on cloud agents, control agents already running on their desktop, use voice input, get push notifications and live activities, review diffs, and even merge pull requests, all from mobile. Cursor's framing was simple. Kick them off when ideas strike. The bigger shift here is what coding work starts to look like when agents are mobile and asynchronous. The cloud agents run in isolated virtual machines with full dev environments, and they can produce demos, screenshots, and logs you can validate from your phone. Cursor also supports handoff between local and cloud sessions, and teams are already wiring in MCPs to do things like query Datadog logs or summarize Slack activity. For on-call engineers and solo builders, that turns the phone into a real command console. You file an investigation, the agent works, you review the evidence on the train, and you merge from the coffee shop. Coding agents are starting to behave less like tools you sit down at and more like teammates you check in on throughout the day.
Thank you for listening to AI Convo Cast. Please don't forget to rate, review, and share if you like what you hear. Thanks and hope to see you again next time.